Hello, Internet Nation. Alex and Ashley here, coming to you pre-recorded on a Sunday. My internal clock is very fucked up. Very fucked up. It doesn't help that I keep going to sleep. I went to sleep at 10 last night. Big mistake. My clock is fucked up. Either I go to sleep at 4 in the morning or 7 in the morning or nothing at all. And then mind you, I still wake up around like 12. Even though these past few days I've been waking up around 3. I went to sleep at 10 and then woke up at 3 in the morning and then 4 in the morning and then 9. Actually, I think it was 7. It was 7 in the morning. And then I said fuck it and just stayed up and then went back to sleep after panicking. But I don't want to talk about panicking because talking about it doesn't help. I've been saying that for years, and people keep asking, hey, you want to talk about it? No. Maybe in person. Maybe if we could talk about it while you hold me, then that would do something. Otherwise, I know you're not even gonna, listen to what I'm saying. But anyway, this isn't about that. This is about normality. You can't even read it. It's backwards. It says do something normal though. Anyway, yeah. Today let's talk about normality. So, or should I say normality? Labeling is a norm, and it's fucking up our planet. You know. So, I had a bag. I put it here. So, when we grow up as humans, we're taught a few things. You know, like we're taught about society. So, I don't know who needs to hear this, but society is not the world. It's not. People like to say the world is fucked up. It's not the world that's fucked up. It's society. It's humans. It's all them goddamn Homo sapiens. Now he got me. I done went out, got all the shit, came back home, and now he got me. I appreciate it, but damn. Anyway, I'll respond to him after I make this video. So, yes. The human world is fucked up. The Homo sapiens, they're the fucked up ones. You know, because, nature's just being nature, you know? Yes, it can be scary. Yes, it's kind of fucked up when, an antelope is minding its business and suddenly, boom, a cheetah comes out of nowhere and now it's dead. Or a lion? Do cheetahs and antelopes take up the same space? That's redundant. That was just hyperbole anyway. So, also, just a heads up, I will probably be putting my sweater back on once it's warm. But, it's 70 degrees, and I had to take it off because it was 70 degrees and I got sweaty while biking, but you're probably going to see me in every video from now on, especially when it's spring, when fall comes after summer, especially when it's fall again. Ooh boy, I am never taking the sweater off, excluding right now because I got really hot and don't want to sweat all up in my corpse sweater, you know? So, society is what's fucked up. Because, I don't know if you realize this, but nothing costs anything. It don't. Capitalism doesn't have to fuck us every morning. It doesn't have to, rape us constantly. I don't know if you realize that. But, we started out with a system of trading and bartering. Mainly, people are like, we're going to use money as a form of currency because I want this thing, and you want this thing, and you have this, and I have this, so I'm going to give you money for your thing when I could just give you the thing you want in exchange for the thing that I want. But, nobody's paying the planet to rape it. you know? Nobody is paying the planet to steal resources from it. If they really gave a fuck about resources and not just the money, they would have left the planet alone and gone, we're just gonna use the sun. If it wasn't about the money, we would not be destroying our planet when we have renewable. I'm trying to figure out a word for it. Eternal? Reusable? Resourceable? Never gonna run out until the day the sun fucking explodes, but we'll be dead by then. Or, well, we'll be dead by then or soon after. We need it to live. We need it so much. And it gives us everything that we fucking need. If it wasn't about the money, we would be using reusable energy. That's the word. Reusable resources. We would have solar panels everywhere. We have the fucking technology. We have the technology so hard. Fucking everybody in Africa can have free solar energy. But no. It's all about capitalism because for some reason we let the white devil take over the world. And not even just the white man or the white person, the white devil. Because there are some white people out there who are not made from Satan's ball sack, straight up. There are people who are modeled after our Lord and Savior. Others are just plain, like they just... White devils just came in here and knocked my Nando's over. I'm not even touching the table, and they just fell over. I don't know if I yelled loud enough at them that they fell over, or if it was the white devil. That's what I was about to say. White devil done fell off Satan's toenails. You know how your toenails get really long and you get that white part? He clipped it and they became white devils. And then they took over our world with capitalism. So yeah, we could be using hydro power. We could be using solar power, but are we? No. No. And it costs $0 to take the resources out of the planet. If money wasn't an issue, if money did not exist, it would not stop anything. It would not stop anything. You can take oil out of the ground and put oil in a car for free. You can create electricity from a generator and make it for free. And if you have an argument, tell me exactly how did Dr. Stone make a car with no money? Nigga, he did not make anything with money. He did not, there are no resources. My nigga said, we're gonna make you ramen. In exchange for this nice hot meal, you are gonna work for us. You are gonna be our people power because we need power. So we gave you something you want, and you give us something that we want. And mind you, those people didn't even need the ramen. They didn't need the ramen. They wanted the ramen. That village had food, but they said, we've never had this before. We like it, so we will give you physical labor in exchange for this thing that we want. Barter system. We could just be doing that, but instead, capitalism. White devil's capitalism. But anyway, I digress. And before you say anything, I personally believe that, like, people should do what they love, you know? Because you can do what you love for free. It's not a job if you love doing it. Like, there are people, and it doesn't matter what the job is. There are people who will do anything. Oh, there are people who like to clean, become a house cleaner, a garbage man. There are people who love customer service, go into customer service, work retail. There are people who love making clothes, make clothes, be in the fashion industry. We don't need money for shit. The only reason we need money is because we need to keep our annoying lights that are not lighting the room up, but for some fucking reason causing a glare of light in my fucking face. Like, I know you see how dim this fucking room is. Yes, it's the morning, but if I turn the light off, it makes no difference. Okay, it makes a difference now. Because it's so fucking dark in here. But this light does a better job at lighting the room up than that one. And look at that, only one beam of light compared to the 3. Anyway. So, like, I'm gonna turn that light back on, actually. Because my face is, like, dark. and covered in smeared makeup. So, so, like, our sense of normality is kind of fucked because society is kind of fucked. And it gets deeper than that. I don't know if you got the point I was trying to make out of that, but I initially wanted to talk about something else. You know? So, when we're kids, we come into this reality with who we are as a person. And I can vouch for that because my parents didn't teach me jack shit as a child. Like, my dad was like, hey, museums are cool. And I was like, yeah, museums are cool. And then he was like, cartoons are cool. I'm like, yeah, I like cartoons. I love cartoons, yeah. Cartoons. Let's watch cartoons, Dad. And then he was like, art is cool. I'm like, yeah, I like art. Let's do art. Yeah, I love art. Never stop doing art. Replace my heartbeat with art. And he was like, yeah, movies are cool. Yeah, things are cool. What do you want to do? What do you want to do today, child, that I only have for the weekend? And then we would do stuff, you know? It was never like, so this is a school, and you're gonna learn things here. Or, so this is how you react to this emotional situation. They actually taught me to react to emotional situations with anger because both of my parents have really bad anger issues. And my dad is more so of the, you did something wrong and now I'm gonna beat you type of parent. But my mom was all, I'm gonna passive aggressively ignore you all day. And then when you try to talk to me, I'm gonna make it seem like you're the problem. And then I'm gonna yell at you. So I just didn't talk to her, which led to me, if anything, my sister praised me. But I don't know if she taught me anything. I mean, we're basically the same person, so anything I would have learned from her is a little obvious. If you're wondering why I only put a little bit of bud in my jar when I have all this, it's because I like to separate it so I don't smoke it so fast. You know, you have a lot of bud and then your brain goes, I have enough, I'm good, I'm okay, I can smoke as much as I want, and then boom, you're out of bud. Anyway, so when you're a kid, you basically have your personality, and then the people around you turn you into who you're going to become in the future. They teach you how humans do things and your heritage and all this stuff. But I basically just kind of like got bounced around. Like, coming to think of it, I probably could have got kidnapped when I was a kid. There was many opportunities for me to be kidnapped as a kid because I used to travel on airplanes by myself. Like as a kid, like before the age of 10, I had probably done it at least 3 times or some shit. But I've traveled on planes to Belize by myself. Granted, the entire time I was in the care of like staff, the attendants, and they would like take me on the plane, and then I would wait for an attendant, and they would come and take me to, if I had to wait in a room, they would take me to a room where I would wait by myself or with other kids that were in that system. I don't know if it's like a legit thing. Like there's just the option for parents to have their children be shipped to be flown somewhere without them needing to be there, so they just go with the stewardesses and whatnot. I'll probably ask my mom more about the how she used to do that when I was a kid. And then like somebody from my family, usually my mom's boyfriend at the time, who should have been my stepdad, but that's a whole other situation. I probably wouldn't be so angry if he was my stepdad. I have problems with that. It's just that I probably wouldn't be so angry, glares at camera. And then went, ooh, I'm attractive when I'm angry. Fucking stupid. But yeah, you know, somebody probably could have kidnapped me during the process. Who knows? But anyway, when you're young, your parents teach you how to react and how to be and how to express yourself. But I never really had that as a kid. I mostly just had like My mom telling me that something in my eye, telling me that everything I liked was wrong and everything that I did was stupid and all that stuff. So I just didn't talk to her, you know? Because it's not like she was like, oh, you shouldn't be like this. You should be like this. It was when I started dressing myself that she was like, you shouldn't be like this. You should be like this. And I'm like, oh, that's stupid and straight. Stupid and straight. Not even going to say stupid and gay because there is nothing happy about making your children insecure. So they tell you who to be. You grow up into that person. And if they don't tell you who to be, you just stay the person you were when you came into reality. And usually those type of people aren't appreciated by society because when you reincarnate, you kind of come into the world with universal knowledge that usually gets like pushed out of your head when they start teaching you shit like chair and table. Just a tiny chair and a tiny table. But like here's the issue with that. That kind of like installs limited thought process in humans, which like I'm questioning if our societal conditioning makes us close-minded. Because imagine this. You see this as a chair, right? It might be a tiny chair that none of us can sit on, but the tiny people can sit on the tiny chair. But a tiny chair is a chair is a thing with a function, right? So you sit on a chair, and chairs are made for sitting. But when you start seeing things as chair, table, jar, you lose the nuance, you know? Because where is the line drawn between a chair? God, I wish this table would just stand up. It stays falling down. You would think that on its side is its normal position. So where is the line between a chair and a piece of art? You know? Because I'm pretty sure most people don't, unless it's a super funky chair. I doubt there are people out there going, that's a chair. That's a piece of art. Somebody designed that chair, because that's the case with everything. Somebody designed it. And if somebody designs it, is it not a piece of art? Is a blueprint not a piece of art? Can a blueprint be considered art? Like if it's a blueprint for something amazing and beautiful, would you not think it was artistic? Somebody had to sit there and draw it. Does that not make it art? Is architecture not art? Is a building? A building is a home, an office, a store. Safety. Is it not art? We usually don't see buildings as art, especially not here in New York where all these ugly ass fucking buildings that are literally just squares that are all just the same fucking color. God, I hate how everything is just morphing into the same fucking color. Like, remember when we used to have funky life? Just we used to have options and things were like fun and fresh and funky. Remember the 80s? Remember fucking our funky cups that are now like red? Actually, I can't even say that. I don't know how long the red Solo cup has been around for. That could predate the those funky cups. But anybody older than 20 knows what I'm talking about. I just made myself feel so old. I was like, older than 20? What do you mean? You're barely that. And I'm like, bro, I'm 28. I'm like, ah! God damn. About to be 30. But do you see what I mean? It's like we start seeing things as one thing and not other things. We forget. Like you see a crazy person and you think that they're just crazy. You don't see them as a person, for one. I experience that a lot, you know? When I go out and I'm like, I do not identify as female. I am a trap. Whole ass trap. It's like my gender identity is a weird one, but I mostly identify as non-binary, but I feel like a very homosexual male. One of them little twink bitches that wants to be female. And I legitimately, continuously have that thought, man, I wish I was a pretty girl, because ain't nothing better than being a pretty girl. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, right. But I be forgetting, because I don't identify as a girl. Can't go out without being talked at or hit on. Thankfully today it was only by some dude, which, like, I get like not giving people a chance. It could be argued that I don't give people a chance, but also, why are the people asking for chances old enough to be my father? And it's like, the older I get, the worse it is that you're old enough to be my father. These niggas don't even be rich. If you want to be older than my dad, you gotta be rich. Don't hit on me in the store as you're sitting there watching me struggle to find my debit card. No, I don't want anything to do with you if you ain't gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, I got this for you. Now I'm interested. Otherwise, you just another ashy, old, bald nigga hitting on me. And there is no difference between the last ashy, old, bald nigga and the next ashy, old, bald nigga. You're ashy. You're old. You don't deserve a young, fresh individual to be planting your tiny little pencil dick in. You don't. You don't. Because you're ashy. You're old. You're ugly. You don't take care of yourself. You're broke. You can't be an average nigga going after some young booty. I get it. You confident. But you can't have no young booty if you can't use no damn lotion. It's like, the fuck? You just gonna stick your dry dick in too? Think we gonna fuck some anal and you just gonna... No, nigga! No! Can't even afford no lotion, but you can't afford lube. Neither nigga, you can't afford me. And I'm not even about the fucking financial prospects, but if you can't offer me love, if you can't offer me a family, if you just gonna die, the least you could do is use lotion. Obviously, I'm too upset to not rant. Which I find kind of funny. I'm just so tired and fed up and sober. So, I'm not focusing because I'm sober. Which is a double-edged sword. I don't know. I don't want to talk about how I feel. I want to talk about normality. And I feel like I haven't said a lot about normality. But I feel like our human normality, our society is fucking us up. Because, like, we teach our kids to be closed-minded. Like, why do you have to teach your child that this is a chair? And, like, completely eradicate the spiritual shit, you know? I mean, granted, there's nothing wrong with teaching your child the chair, but then, like, why do we draw lines? And where do we draw lines? Why is it socially unacceptable to sit on a table or stand on a chair? I mean, granted, if you stand on this table, a table like this, you might get hurt. You might. Like, this tiny little table barely stands on its own. It constantly falls over. So, like, if you want to talk about it being a safety thing, that's fine. But it's never because it's a safety thing. It's always because it's socially acceptable to not do things or whatever. It's like, no, I'm not going to sit in a chair the way you want me to sit in a chair when, like, sitting on a chair backwards is what makes me happy. Like, the fuck? I'm going to pause this so I can roll this blunt. Question, does anybody know what AF lock is? My phone currently says AF lock on it. I don't know what that means. I swear to God, this table never stands up. It's gonna suck when I actually, like, set the cafe up or the alchemy shop and it just falls. Also, does the science and alchemy shop need an outdoor sitting area? What? I mean, I guess food is science. It's just what the umbrella term of what falls under science. is so broad because literally everything is science. Which, if you ever watch Dr. Stone, Tsukasa has the stupidest point ever. It's like, no, Tsukasa, you can't be mad at Senku for making technology when your ass is sitting over here with your sewing materials. No science means no science, nigga. Y'all can't have these fancy, flashy outfits talking about no science. No, no, you don't get to use tools, nigga. You don't get to use tools, and yet you want to be over here like Senku. I'm fine with you. Thanks for bringing me back to life, but also, no science, bro. Stop. Like, nigga, if you would just stop trying to kill him, he would stop making weapons. But this isn't about the flawed nature of Tsukasa's ideology in Dr. Stone, which is stupid. Just, everything falls under the category of science. Don't be stupid like Tsukasa. Don't attack niggas and then wonder why they're making weapons. This nigga, he just wanted to make some fun, funky shit to make his life easier. He was making fucking cotton candy and he gave it to your bad guys. Like, nigga, stop attacking him and he won't fight you. He won't. At no point was he like, we're gonna go and we're gonna fight Tsukasa because he wants to kill people. He was like, nah, can you stop, please? I really don't appreciate how you're just killing people indiscriminately. Which, why are you killing people indiscriminately? Every adult is not evil. And you were bringing back the most fucked up individuals who cannot be under 18. But this is about normality. Even though that show is a show about what happens when normality crashes. And then stupid people take over. There's nothing smart about brawn. Science is the only way. Yes, we shouldn't have evil people using science, but Senku is not an evil person. Which is another flaw of that show. Senku is not evil. I highly doubt at any point in the spectrum of life was he ever going to ever make a weapon. Unprompted. This boy, if he was gonna make weapons, he would have been making weapons, actually. He was alone for the longest time. He was just out here scavenging, carrying shit with his hands, living life. And you came around and started threatening him, and he had to start building weapons. That's how that goes. Because stupid humans exist. Smart humans have to make weapons. Granted, he probably would have made, like, knives and shit to hunt animals, but he wasn't gonna come fight you. And that's another thing. Like, that's another thing people love doing. You see how Tsukasa twisted in his mind that because humans are evil, he had to kill all the adults to save the planet, and because he wanted to save the planet, that meant that Senku had to stop making science. He had to stop doing science because Tsukasa was dumb and instantly assumed that science equals weapons equals evil people taking over society, which at no point Senku was like, yeah, we're gonna let all the evil people have the power back. He was just like, science is for everyone, bro. Which it is. You can't really argue if an evil person wants to come back and do some evil shit with science, murk him. Murk him. Simple. Simple as that. I don't even think Senku would have stopped him. Like, oh, this dude is being evil? Kill him. He ain't want to kill you, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure if you ran out and just killed some evil motherfucker, he would have been like, cool. One less threat to deal with. He would have just been like that. But Tsukasa wanted to be like, nope, every adult needs to die. These beautiful little babies right here, orphans now. Orphans. And I'm like, there is nothing pure about an individual who makes orphans. There isn't. There isn't. Now, if you were going around and, like, making orphans of children who were being abused by their parents, then you get a pat on the back. But no, you're just making orphans for no fucking reason. Now these children are gonna come into life. Tsukasa, who's gonna take care of the children? Who's gonna take care of the children, Tsukasa? You ain't even bringing them back. You bringing back all these dumb motherfuckers who look rapey. Anyway. I don't know how to tie any of that shit together. Society is stupid and dumb. You know? That's the moral of the story. Society is stupid and dumb. But maybe I'll make another video elaborating on my points. Or it's not released this one. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Last week was supposed to be creation week, and I wanted to... I mean, I didn't really finish any of the faces I started working on, because then I got depressed midway through the week. But, I wanted to make a video every day last week, so maybe I'll just make that this week, and I'll just try to formulate my thoughts, because my mind is a jumbled mess again. And I don't know how to make it not a jumbled mess, because the only person I ever really have to talk to is the camera. You know? And the camera is as deep a back and forth as I'm gonna get, I guess, about the deeper stuff, at the very least. Anyway. So, I guess too long didn't read version of this is like careful with life, with how you raise your kids and how you teach people. Make sure that when you're seeing things, it's not just black and white. Make sure you're not just seeing table, chair, you know, because they're more than that. It's not just a thing. And at the end of the day, don't forget the most important part of all of that learning process. None of it matters. None of it. God damn it. Another Nendo just fell. No, not in the ashtray. God damn it. Remember, none of it matters. At the end of the day, this is just a thing. We call this a chair. We call it a chair, and it functions as a chair does. Language is just language. Language is a thing that does not exist outside of society. Remember that. Society is society. It is not the world. No matter what society will have you believe, society is not the world. It is not. Cars do not exist in nature. When society crashes, we're going to have the real world. The real world. The world that humans created a whole new world to avoid, you know? Because they don't want to, like, be out there harvesting shit. Like, if society were to crash, a lot of people wouldn't know how to, like, function in the real world. They wouldn't know how to forage for shit. They wouldn't have the gall to kill things. They wouldn't know how to hunt. They wouldn't know how to build their own house. They wouldn't know how to repair a lot of, like, features of their home if they had to repair their home. They wouldn't know what they're doing. They would just be lost little babies relearning the world because all they know is table and chair. Literally. So many people, like, they frown on the idea of sitting on the floor, because why would you sit on the floor when we have all these good chairs that exist in nature? Yep, because there's definitely a chair in this field, which is why we brought a blanket to put a buffer between us and the earth, because we feel like the earth is just so inhumane that we can't, sit on it? I don't know. I don't understand society. I don't understand why they love segregation. Maybe that's what my next video will be on. Segregation and how humans love to segregate everything. Talking about, I don't see color, but I definitely see nice thick lines that separate everything. That'll be my next video, because this one is half an hour long. So I'm going to end this here. And I'm a little nippy, so I'm going to put on a sweater. And then I'm going to start ranting about segregation. So that's probably not going to go up the same day that this video goes up, though, because I should be a little smarter with that. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, know that you are loved and appreciated. And hopefully you take a moment to appreciate the things that humans have created. You know, the things that we use every day that just makes our lives simple. That we won't have when the apocalypse hits. Because that requires technology to make. Like cups. I'm not gonna say table and chair again. Things like cup. Especially glass. Glass is one of those things where it takes a lot of machinery to make. They could only do it in Dr. Stone because they had a professional craftsman and pick up a craft. If you don't know how to make anything, you're gonna be fucked. Why am I talking like the apocalypse is around the corner? Like the apocalypse is around the corner. This isn't just a chair, it is also firewood. Anyway, until next time, y'all know that you are loved and appreciated by this guy. And maybe this guy. Definitely not that guy. He has such disdain for you who ran away. I'm sorry. That's just who Kageyama is. He doesn't really like anybody. We're working on that. I'll see you later. Bye.